Well, hey, you guys. Okay, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that overall, inflation has actually calmed down a bit. Yeah, we saw inflation reach a 5-month low in November of 2023. And even though it's made its way up the graph for a few short periods since then, we are still in a better place than we were during Egggate 2022. Do you remember that? But the bad news is that the car industry is already taking advantage of this. So the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index, the CPI, confirmed that as inflation eased in 2023, auto insurance costs increased more than 17%. So that may not sound like a lot, but even if you're just paying the state minimum, which is around $60 a month, you're paying an extra $120 per year with that 17% increase. And if those kind of increases start happening in all other areas like home insurance and health insurance, we will all be wishing that we are back buying expensive eggs again where we are now. So let's talk about how you can be proactive with saving on some of life's unavoidable expenses, no matter how costs fluctuate with inflation. So first, let's just keep with this car theme. So number one simple way to save on car insurance is to ask for specific discounts. Insurance companies offer dozens of discounts, and you probably apply for at least a few of them, like being a member of AAA, which the Cruzes are as of 48 hours ago. That's right. Being a veteran or active military, working as a teacher or a nurse, having safety features on your vehicle like anti-theft or blind spot sensors, parking your car indoors at night, even completing a driver safety course. So listen, just ask and your insurance agent will hopefully help you find the best deal. Now, another way to save on car insurance is to increase your deductible. So your deductible is the amount of money that you're responsible for paying for before your insurance kicks in and covers the rest. So for example, if you get into an accident and the cost of the repairs to your vehicle was $2,500, you might pay $500 in a deductible and then rely on the insurance to pay the remaining $2,000. And most people choose a low deductible because they want to avoid getting a giant repair bill after an accident. But if you choose a low deductible, insurers often raise your monthly rate to balance out the risk of having to pay to fix for your car. So if you raise your deductible to $1,000, which should be covered by your emergency fund if you're on baby step 1 or above, then you could save up to 40% or more on your monthly payments. So that's about $635 a year. Now, the third way that I recommend saving on car costs isn't necessarily insurance, but it's probably the most important part of owning a car responsibly, and that is to buy used and pay cash. Now, before you get all dramatic about this one, let me just remind you that new cars lose 10% of the value the minute you drive them off the lot. And in the first year, their value decreases by 20%, after 5 years by 60%. So cars are a depreciating asset. So unless you are worth at least a net worth millionaire, which is $1 million or more is your net worth, then again, the most practical way for you to buy a car is to buy a used one in cash. And transportation is a basic necessity. And so you don't have to drive a beater, though, for the rest of your life. So use some common sense, prioritize your goals, and just know you can step up in car later. But when you can pay for a car in cash, you are going to save money because you're not taking out a loan and paying interest. Okay, let's go over another type of insurance, home. So here's some ways to save. Number one, bundle. Now, I'm sure you've heard commercials saying bundle home and auto or bundle and save, and it's true. When you combine insurance coverage for your home, car, and even commercial and umbrella policies, you usually can get a better overall rate. Plus, it makes payments faster and easier just to knock them all out at once. Another way to save on home insurance is to be choosy with your claims. So this one's a very fine line because what's the point of having insurance if you're not going to use it? So I hear you, but it is a balancing act. So if a few incidences occur close together, consider paying for the smaller repairs just out of pocket to keep your premium costs low. If insurance companies feel like you're asking them to cover every little thing, every little hiccup, then they're going to ask more money from you every month. And this is why an emergency fund is a lifesaver. So you have a small cushion of your own to fall back on. So again, you can soak up some of those costs so your insurance doesn't spike up. The third way for saving on essential costs has to do with specific type of insurance that you have on your home, and that is PMI. So private mortgage insurance is a type of insurance that you're required to pay for if you purchase a home with less than a 20% down payment. And you want to hear something sad? This type of insurance doesn't even protect you. Nope, it protects the lender. And it could be tempting to just put your house payments on autopilot and forget about how much you're throwing away in extra insurance fees like this one. But recently, there's been a lot of headlines about the rising cost of PMI. So make it a goal to get rid of this extra monthly cost. Mortgage lenders are required to cancel your PMI once you've paid 20% of the home's value. So whenever you can, find extra money, make sure to put it in your budget and put it towards extra payments, towards your mortgage principal, so that you can reach that minimum requirement faster. All right, you guys, so we've done car, we've done home. Let's talk health insurance. So here's some ways to save. Number one, stay in network. Did you know that you can actually lower prices for medical care if you choose a different provider? So you can make a call or look up your doctor's office online and find out if your insurance coverage is in network. Insurance companies and their policies can change frequently. While people tend to stick with their personal doctor for a long period of time, you can usually expect a small copay, but choosing doctors that are within your insurance policy's network will save you hundreds of dollars on regular visits. So do your research before your next visit and make sure that you're covered by the specific doctor that you're seeing. Number two, another way to save on essential healthcare costs is to take advantage of the HSA, which is the Health Savings Account. This is a great account that can allow you to contribute money to a savings account for personal healthcare costs that's tax-free. So here's why this is awesome. You can use those funds to cover small healthcare costs that you don't want to have insurance pay for, like dental or an eye doctor. And you can make tax-free contributions that roll over year to year. You can even invest your HSA funds so that they grow again tax-free over a long period of time. And many employers also offer HSA matches. So I'm telling you, this is great. You never want to say no to free money, right? All right, tip number three on saving for health insurance is to find out if you qualify for the premium tax credit. So to help make the cost of buying a plan more affordable, the government created a tax credit for people with a household income between 100% and 400% of the federal poverty line. So this is for people who make enough that they don't qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, but they're still struggling to afford health insurance. So if you're buying your insurance on the open market, you might qualify for a premium tax credit. And I know we've covered a lot today because there's so much to talk about when it comes to different insurances, what you need and don't need. And again, everyone is so different. So this is a very grown-up adult thing we all have to do, but I would recommend digging into this, you guys. I really recommend the coverage checkup to make sure that you're covered in all the right areas when it comes to your insurance needs. So I will leave a link in the description so you can have peace of mind. It takes a few minutes, but again, it helps you see, okay, what are all the insurances that I need? And this is a place, again, where you can put money back in your pocket if you're intentional with it. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.